In our last video, we used the curve fitting tool on MATLAB to work with the coronavirus infection data to find our coefficients for a goodness of fit line. So now we're just kind of working on Excel and kind of seeing how we can use that, or how we can kind of play around. So in Excel, looking here, we have our new daily infections which we graphed on MATLAB. Now we can just play around with it on Excel. So we have this equation, y equals a times e to the negative x minus b divided by c, all of that squared. So a is about where their peak is, b is when that happens, and c dictates how long of a stretch that is. So if you're living through this quarantine coronavirus life right now, you kind of see here that these peaks are jumping up and down, the infections every day. We'll see how long this kind of lasts, but that's why it's kind of really stretched out here. Had a peak here, but then went down, and now it's just kind of jumping around. So just to kind of show you what I did here, we just had this, so I ran all my dates down. I have whatever the infected was that was reported for the day, and then I summed it up. So it's a little bit different than what they report. They kind of clean up the numbers later, but I wanted to keep this as consistent as possible, so we use these infected. So then I take that curve, so I take that, so these are all the red points, and I use my fit line here, using this equation. You can see that we just went over. I just write it, exp is for the exponent, and then I fit everything right in there. So if you can tell, we said April 9th is the peak, and that was our estimated peak, 3987 on that day. Actually, it was 3,748, so it's pretty close. It's a little hard when we are accounting that there's only one peak. We know that it was higher a little later on. But this is how you could use you're on MATLAB, but you like working on Excel. I think this is a lot cleaner to look at. You have your dates proper. You can do that than working with these weird numbers and converting. I can take my dates, and it's just plugged in right to the equation, that purple y, when it is, and it's just easier to work with that way. So I think one good thing is you just kind of take the numbers from your MATLAB. You can kind of convert back and forth, but it's a lot easier to play around with here. So then I have these infections, and I kind of work on this running total over here. And that's it. That's how you can take the data, my infected data. I use this bell curve, and I can change around the parameters to kind of see how it fits. And if I wanted, which I guess we can do right here real quick, this green line, if I take this equation and run it down a little more, you'd kind of assume that the numbers would be going down, but as we see that this number might be plateauing for a while. To account for that, you could either, you don't need that.